So we are continuing our Xbox controller cake topper. This is actually the next day because I got a bit tired doing the other night. So, and that's the joy of molding stuff. You can continue next time, especially if it's something that you just have to stick on. So I have cut out some of the buttons that will go on the controller. So we need to look at the original image, like online, check how the Xbox looks like. I've cut out a white circle that I stuck to where the indent is, and that's where the Xbox logo will sit. So you will have that in green, like an X in green. So I have cut out two large round fondant and some really rounded like buttons also. So this is what I've done now. So that is what I did. I took out a bit of sugar paste that was quite thick, just pressed it down quite thick, pressed into the sugar paste that I cut out of that sugar paste, and that will actually fit onto the controller as one of the buttons. So you need two large ones for that. You need a cross and you need four small rounded buttons. So this one has an indent in the middle, and that's just what I'm doing with my thumbs. So I'm pressing it down and making sure that it looks okay. So that I'm still pressing it down, just kind of molding it. I'm not pressing too hard, but just putting an indent there so you can see clearly that's what I've done. So you need two of that to sit on your control. So I stuck them on with water. So that's the one that has the top, the bottom, the top, up and down, left and right controls, and I cut across using a knife. And that's just what I'm doing. So started with like a rectangular shape, and from there I was able to cut out like some tiny rectangles from the sides, and that gave us a cross. So 4 rectangles from the sides, as you can see. That's what I'm doing, and that gave me a cross. And okay, you can see that I'm just there's no fast rule to it. You can use a square cutter if you have one. So that goes there also, and I'm going to stick it with water. Keep checking your image to make sure that it looks like it. So that's where that part where you have that cross is not flat. So I use my finger just to make a dip, a gentle dip in the sugar paste, and that is where that control, the top, the up and down, right and left controls will sit. So from there I'm going to go ahead and put the 4 small round buttons at the top right hand side. This is where those letters go. So you have the A, the B, the X, and the Y. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting it in the middle of my palm, rolling it up to make it smooth and to make it pliable. So make sure that they're all the same size. It's quite tricky to have one bigger than the other, but you make sure that they're all the same size. You want them to look as realistic as possible. Then you stick them on using water also. We're going to paint on these buttons after we finish sticking them on. We're going to paint, I think the A is in green, the B is in red, the X is in blue, and the Y is in yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and use my gel coloring to stick them on. As you can see there, I made an error. I put it like a square, but it's actually like a diamond shape. So checking the image actually helps to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So that looks good. And another thing is, make sure you don't stick your control on permanently until you're sure that it looks exactly like what it's in the image. Because if you stick it on, it means that you have to take it off, and that will mess up your work. So make sure that it looks right before you start using your water to stick on the control. And that's just what I'm doing now. I'm satisfied with the way it looks. So yes, I'm just pressing down gently, not pressing down so hard, but just pressing down gently. And that looks really nice. It's looking quite real. So you can, if you notice, I put a little bit of sugar paste in front of the controller. I noticed that there was something in there. I've never played Xbox before, but I just looked at the picture and I saw there was a little flat thing in front, and I just cut out something, and I just cut out sugar paste and I stuck it on there just to make it look realistic. So this is the part where you have two controls that have 3 lines and like 2 boxes, 2 white boxes. So 3 white lines, 2 boxes. So I'm just using a straw to mark out. I'm not dipping it too deep into the sugar paste, just to mark out those shapes onto the Xbox controller, just like in the real one. And I'm going to, once I've got that, I'll go ahead and paint it white, just 3 white lines. So over here I've started painting it. I've painted my Y in yellow, and what I've done is I got some gel food coloring and some white food coloring, and I mixed the white with the gel colorings. The reason why I'm doing this is because gel food colorings are quite concentrated. They're very, very concentrated, and what you need is to tone it down a bit with the white. And so I'm using a toothpick to dip into the food coloring. So a little bit of white, mixed it with the gel coloring, and you can see that I'm using the toothpick, dipping the toothpick into the red one now. Just have a bit of the color on the tip of your toothpick, not too much, because if it's too much, there's a high chance you will smear the work, which means you will have to start all over again. And just a little bit. If it's not enough, just a little bit more, and just paint it. So right now I'm doing the B, so I'm painting it B. I've done the Y in yellow, so the B is in red, and I will go ahead and do that for the rest. So I'm doing the A, which is in green, and it's really looking nice already. I'm very, very proud of this Xbox cake topper, controller cake topper. So just gently paint the letter on to that control. Remember, this is not a rush job. You have to be very patient. It's something you have to do when you have the time, so it can look really nice and pretty. So we have our Xbox now, which is finished. I am really, really happy with this sugar paste, the way it's turned out. It looks nice, and it's hard work, but it paid off. So we have the logo in front with our green cross. We have our buttons on there. Everything has been stuck on there. It looks really, really nice. It actually looks like you can pick it up and start using it to play your game. So, and thank you for watching. So that is our Xbox. See how pretty that looks. And it looks beautiful. It's my first time out doing one, and I'll surely do another one next time. that is it with the cake. So I place it on top of the cake and it looks really, really, really good. You can see that I actually elevated the Xbox a bit. That is quite necessary when you put it on the cake. Thanks for watching.